Good morning, good morning, good morning from lovely South Dakota. Our high temperature is supposed to be up in the 60s today, 66 degrees, and then tomorrow we're supposed to be snowing. So, guys, bear with me as we get this thing started. As you come in, let me know where you're coming in from. We are streaming live on Twitch, we are streaming live on YouTube, and we are going to be adding other platforms very quickly as things are building out. So I am glad to see people are showing up. I noticed no comments yet, but that'll come. But we are going to do a bunch of good news. We're going to do a couple not so great news stories, but definitely going to get into some of the more heavy hitting stuff pretty quickly. So if people definitely get out, share this, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube, share it out to your friends and family, your loved ones, your neighbors, even the neighbors you hate. We we do appreciate it. Each and every single one of you guys doing exactly that. We're all kind of tied together in one way, shape, or form. But we're going to have a good show. So I know everybody's like, whoa, he's going live at 10 o'clock. Normally I drop a podcast. This morning I woke up, I'm flipping through the news to I was getting ready to set up the podcast and get everything ready and just run through it. And I'm like, no, we need to have some good news today. So it looks like we have South Dakota in the house, South Carolina in the house, North Carolina by the looks of it. And yeah, I'm sure other people are going to be coming on as the and we have Oklahoma in the house, North Carolina, Tennessee, another North Carolina. Hopefully everything's going good for you guys. Washington State, Pennsylvania, California, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Washington. Okay, so guys, we're gonna launch into the stories. We're gonna talk a little bit about the good news stuff, and then I'm gonna give you guys an update on the website closer to the end. That way, we have the most people here, so I'm not having to repeat myself more than once. So we got Kentucky, California. Whoa, we got a lot of people coming in. Tennessee. So yeah, guys, I'm excited to have you guys here. Kind of excited about the all the good news that was going on. So we're gonna start with the bad news, kind of the bad news stuff first, and then we're gonna go into a lot of the good news. So first and foremost, let me make it bigger so everybody can see it better. So one of the bad news ones, there's a dynamite explosion at an army base in Equatorial Guinea that killed at least 15. I'm hearing reports that there are probably that number will probably rise to at least 65. If you look at the pictures, it's saying that the actual crater where all of it went off it is almost 15 feet deep. So yeah, it's quite bad. So guys, I feel bad for them, and I know it's not really. I'm not going to go into detail until there's a lot more information out. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of people injured. There the numbers anywhere from 500 to 1,000, depending on the news source you get it from. So, yeah, but yeah, that's just one little minor story, and I think a lot of people are really getting crazy about everything. And then the I think pretty much the last bad news one is with Biden talking about how he's going to fund his infrastructure plan. They have a $2.7 trillion infrastructure plan. And where's that money coming from? Well, it's coming from our pockets. And Biden himself is already talking about how he's going to sign an executive order and all this requiring everybody to turn in guns. Not that it's going to stand, but again, these are just things that people that are coming to attention. But our favorite circle back is supposed to be holding a press conference today, and I'm actually going to listen to the whole thing. And this evening, we're going to cover a lot more of these details in regards to what they're discussing here and how it, and really break down the nuts and the bolts of how they are going to fund it. What are our taxes going to look like? Are we going to be running 40, 50% tax brackets in every state? Because if that's the case, it's going to destroy this economy. And I found out, and I was actually talking to a guy, and I said, I was like, I think I know how they're going to pull this off in regards to getting rid of the second. They're going to try to get rid of the Second Amendment. I figured out how they're going to do it. So with all the free money that we have to pay back eventually, they're going to do this. They're going to say, unless you turn in this firearm, whatever. Unless you turn in your firearms, you will not get a stimulus check. Well, if you bend somebody over a barrel and put a gun to their head and say, "Hey, you're either going to turn in this, or you're going to be missing," whether it's a family of 2, whether it's a family of 6 or 7 or 9 or whatever the number is. If you bend somebody over and say you're either going to give us your guns or you're not going to get a stimulus check worth $1,400 per head, even with the children, that's going. People are going to do it. They're going to say, "Yeah, I'll gladly turn." They're doing it because they want to disarm citizenry. And if I'm gonna just put this out there, if they do that, and I know I talked to a couple of you, and I told you guys this before, but if they do that, guess what? I'll say I'll work for the money that I have, and if I have to be taxed at 50%, so be it. But I'm not turning in my firearms. So I know a lot of people are in the same mindset as me, but that is going to be the next power play. Mark my words, it's going to happen. It's not an if, it's more of a when. So guys, what I'm saying, I'll make it all nice and short and sweet for you guys, and I'll put it out on the Signal platform for you guys to share out, and I'll put it up on YouTube so people can share this message. Nice and short, because people need to know how corrupt and how crooked this administration is. each and every single segment that we have, if you guys want, if there's stuff that you find valuable that your friends or your family could use, let me know, because I can make those small short clips and put them out there for you guys to share. Share to your friends, family, relatives, whatever. We're going to start using Rumble a lot more. We are going to be setting up our Parler page and making sure that everything's working good on Parler. We're going to be putting together clips for people to share on there. We're going to do that in regards to Facebook as well, editing out, of course, the trigger words that can get us banned. We want to keep our pages up as much as possible, and having been working on building out the pages and getting everything ready for this new transition that we're getting ready to do. I just want you guys to be aware as to what's happening. See, for me, communication is key. I can communicate with you guys. You guys can communicate with me. You can tell me your wants, likes, and desires. You guys can talk about stuff amongst yourselves, amongst your group, whatever. I don't really care. There's a reason. There's a reason all of us are here. We're here to tell the truth. We're here to talk about the truth. And if it's something that is we can find later on, we find out that's false, we can issue the corrections. It's just the way it is. Having the ability to have an open communication between the person that's on live stream and people watching, that makes a show a lot stronger. So, we are everybody go drop your guns in a lake right now. Now that damages them. You use oilcloth, wrap them up, bury them. Put them in a case, bury them in the ground. It's a lot simpler. But anyways, guys, I kind of went off on a tangent there, but let's get into some good news. Everybody like that? So the Newsom recall organizers say they have enough signatures to trigger a new election. So they had a deadline of March 17th to gather 12% of the voting population's signatures. Right now, they're already at 14 or 15% with 10 days to spare. That's on March 7th. So that's a pretty big number. So they have to present 1,495,709 to actually be legitimate and trigger that recall. So that's just one piece of good news, guys. Just one piece of good news. So Greasy Gavin is getting ready to be gone. And I mean we've been talking about a whole bunch of stuff going on with Governor Cuomo. So New York lawmakers announced Cuomo impeachment resolution amid twin scandals. Guys, this is amazing. You have two really left-wing governors who are getting ready to go down. You guys don't have the recall effort in New York, and I know we have a few New Yorkers on, but you guys don't have but you guys have your phone lines. You guys can be burning up each and every single one of your Congress people's phone lines and saying, hey, you need to support this resolution. You need to go out and you need to condemn his actions. And then back up the condemnation by voting for the impeachment resolution. What are, I mean, guys, in all reality, when I talk about getting out and doing grassroots movements, this is what we're talking about. Actually talking to our Congress people within our states and actually moving these things forward. New York City won't get rid of Cuomo. He gives them what they want. See, the problem is New York City is very, very angry. A lot of people in New York City are very, very, very angry because of the nursing home policies. And I was talking to a friend of mine that lives out there, and he was telling me, he said, Shane, it's horrible. He said, I work in Manhattan West, and he said a lot of the nursing staff come to work. They do a little bit of coding or do their all their stuff that they need to get done. They get that done, and then they said, I said, well, what do you mean? Manhattan West is supposed to be the busiest hospital in the country in regards to the pandemic. And he said, no. He said that was a lie. And I was blown away because people, when your media lies to you, they're not willing to tell the truth about everything, and they will sit there and tell you, oh, these semi-trailers are being used for morgues and all this, that, and the other thing because the morgues are overflowing and all this, that, and the other. Guys, the semi-trailers were not being used for morgues. That's what they were claimed to. They had body bags with no bodies. Body bags with no bodies. Like they were expecting, and these were carted in before it started to get bad in the country. So if they were covering their butt beforehand, they knew something was up. For one, they knew that this nursing home policy was going to be destructive. Those semis showed up 2 days after they showed up. Governor Cuomo actually opened up the nursing homes for positive patients to be introduced back into the nursing homes. But yeah, let's get NIMI because we have massive leadership. Yeah, I think whoever gives out the Emmys, they failed. Yeah, they are getting ready. They are introducing articles. It hasn't been introduced that I know of yet, but I believe it's going to happen sooner rather than later. So, yep, there's so many people that need to hear the messages, that need to talk to people, and they need to understand what in the world is going on. Because we are in for the fight of our lives. So you guys really want to see something that's extremely shocking? Now watch this. This I found this morning, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. So Georgia Senate passes election reform bill that would end no excuse absentee voting. What does that mean? They are getting ready to eliminate by the way everything works. under the proposed legislation, those who are eligible to vote by mail will be limited to people who are physically disabled or are over 65 years old, are military or overseas voter. So, guys, this is what we've been looking for. This is what we are pressing for. The absentee voting has to go. Otherwise, we're never going to have a free and fair election again. What petitions in North Carolina? Ariel? Send me a message on Signal and we'll highlight those. But guys, everybody knows that what we're doing is building a grassroots coalition. As far as donating to the RNC, that will not happen again. As far as for me. And I'll be Save America, PAC. That's where I'll be donating. If I donate at all, that's where I'll donate. I won't give another penny to rhinos. And I think it's time for people to move forward and actually run big against these Democrats and these rhinos. Time to fund them and outspend them and outstrip them. They need to fix them up. Yeah, and they do. They really do. So Arizona introduced a bill to deny all the Dominion contract. They're going to rip the Dominion contract up, and they're talking about going back to just paper ballots. Guys, as much as I hate how inefficient paper ballots are, we need to go back to them. It is the absolute truth. We go back to them, and we didn't have the major problems. We had problems, but we didn't have these major problems. So guys, I know I'm just kind of ramming through a bunch of stuff, and I know you guys are just like, you shut the heck up and be ready to. You're ready to just shut me off, right? 44 people at 10 o'clock in the morning. For me, that's I'd say I'm doing a decent enough job. Here's another big story that you're going to hear about from other mainstream media. And guys, I want people to understand that I use Epic Times because I trust the way of vetting their information. I don't use a whole lot of other news sources because Epic Times, they don't care about being first. They care about being right, which is why they've, in 5 years, only having to issue 2 retractions. That's a stellar record. And I don't want if I see one on Fox News or any other news media and I don't see something that's similar, wait 24 hours. If it's still not on Epic, then I know that there's probably very little validity there. So Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a bill limiting absentee voting, shorten early voting, and close the polls earlier on Election Day. Guys, again, all positive news. All because we have people coming in and saying, hey, we don't believe in this election. We don't believe that it was handled fairly, and I think you guys we need to correct things. Guess what? This will do that. So again, we're providing commentary and analysis, but guys, it's the grassroots stuff that we're doing and sharing, and we're talking to people and all that, that's causing these things to move forward. We are not here to just spout conspiracy. I am here to get the truth out. I'm here to basically lay the groundwork and talk about how can we move forward and be able to get super majorities, be able to ram through the stuff that needs to be passed, both in the state and on the federal level. Because right now, the Democrats are going to do everything they can to change everything we have. I heard this morning as well that Joe Biden signed an executive order giving people voting privileges that are in federal custody. Here is my message to Joe Biden. It is unconstitutional to give any voting rights to anybody without first going through the House of Representatives and the Senate. The reason you have not done that is because if you did that, you would not have the 60 plus, you wouldn't have the 63% required to pass it in the House, and you definitely don't have the 60 votes to pass it in the Senate. So stop playing games and just stop with the executive orders. 97 executive orders in the last, what it has been, 40 days. All of them tailored to rolling back your rights, killing jobs, and destroying our economy. Guys, if this crap show doesn't end soon, and I don't, first of all, I don't think it's going to end soon. I think they're going to continue to push on, but this whole thing, you have 1% Joe and 1% Kamala that somehow managed to capture what they claimed to be 51% of the country. 1% Joe, 1% Kamala managed to capture 51% of the country. I don't know about you guys, but 1% and 1% is usually just what, 2%? Kamala never rose above 1.5% in the primary season. Why would she be picked up? They picked her up because she's a person of color. She is a female, and she is power hungry. So, Guy, you are exactly right, but that's not what his executive order says. Convicted people in federal custody are given the right to vote under his executive order. I'm going to pull it up, and we are going to talk about it extensively tonight. So, 76 executive order. Sorry, I overstated it. Sorry about that, Jason. But guys, still, Mandy, you're absolutely right. We have to do everything that we can to move this ball down the road and actually get this movement to pick up speed, pick up steam. Guys, let's just take the 40 people or whatever that's on here. If you were to share, if everybody was to talk about this with 3 people, there's 160 people that are exposed, including you. And if it was to replicate, it wouldn't take but 30 days to hit 75 million people. The crap show has to stop. And the only way we're going to stop is by taking back the power seats, taking back the state legislatures, taking back the federal legislature. Keep moving. So start your victory gardens. Anybody that does not know what the victory gardens are, I'm sure if I know I have some audience members that are close to 80, they probably know what the victory gardens are. Okay, so anybody who listens to this after the fact, they're going to they're going to be like, what in the world are you talking about, young man? Well, a victory garden was basically in World War II, they were rationing all these like foods. So a lot of people were actually growing foods and donating from their gardens. They were donating it for troops and for the community and so on and so forth. So everybody was able to survive even the rationing. So okay, I'm not sure who you are, Baconator, but okay. But guys, every single day we talk about what can we do? How can we do it? And it's very, in my opinion, is very simple, but some people are nervous about it. And I find it's very interesting to see how many people are willing to take action. Most, based on the numbers that I'm seeing, most Republicans, if you look at the Republican base, I'm not talking about the Trump base, I'm talking the Republican base. The number of people willing to take action is less than 10%. We need to grow that. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm having some fun here, and boom. Okay, yep, I took care of that for you. So yeah, I don't know who that was, but I mean at first it was kind of humorous, but yeah, as just need direction. Yep. And guys, that's having a plan of action, having a game plan put together. That's literally what this is all about. How do we activate people? How do we get people to I'm not the best speaker out there, and I know that. But I know 2 fundamental things. I know how to set stuff up and know how to set it in motion. So we're gonna discuss that over the next several weeks, putting out the game plan. What can we do ourselves to make sure our family's taken care of, so on and so forth. But I'm not going to just fill you full of BS. If you guys want to do it your way, go for it. So, yeah, and I know there's some people that are going to be after watching this later on. There's some people that are going to be triggered, and they're going to need a therapist. Guess what? I have a I have a therapist that I can send you to. I don't know what she charges, but trust me, we got you covered. But guys, we like to have fun. We like to be put ourselves out there, and people know that I'm a family man, and that's perfectly fine. I don't care if people know that, but I also know that there has to be a breaking point in which Americans have to take action. And by when I say take action, use your pen, use your microphone. And no, that's not me wrapping the end of the show up for this hour, but there has to be a connection, and to draw that connection and strengthen that connection to the point where it's embedded in people's heads and in their fingertips that this is what they need to do. This is our course of action each and every single day. I know a lot of you guys have jobs. I know some of you guys are retired. Some are living on SSI. And you know what? It doesn't matter to me. I am when I don't mean to say that, oh, I don't care about you. I care about every single one of you. But what I don't care about is people using those type of excuses to not hold their elected officials accountable, to not do the work that needs to not do the work that needs to be done to move this ball forward. If you guys are, and I don't question anybody's patriotism, but you guys, it's vitally important for our country and for your future and your grandchildren's future, your children's future, all of it. It's vitally important to keep that mindset that I will do everything I can to save my country no matter what. Mindset. If you have that mindset and you are out there burning up, doing everything you can, guess what? People are going to listen, because not only is it going to be your mindset, but it'll show in your demeanor, it'll show in what you do, it'll show in your actions, it'll show across the board what you are doing. And eventually it starts to build. And it starts with you, and then other people see it pretty soon. Hey, what's going on? What are we doing? Are we are you writing to Congress? People are afraid to speak up because they're afraid of being canceled. I have a business outside of here, and a lot of people know that. Do I care about being canceled? No, I live in a Republican state. A lot of people support what I'm doing. I know a lot of people, a lot of my customers know that I get on and I talk about some pretty straightforward stuff. I have Democrats that literally will actually send me messages wanting me to send them to live. They don't want to jump on because they don't want to give me ratings, but they want me to send them the live or the video after the live. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that has to happen, and we have to start exemplifying and sharing these messages. Guys, I can see each and every single share of a video from YouTube. I can see all of that on my analytics. And I know it's been 4 shares roughly each and every single day on the lives. And I think once I start getting smaller clips for you guys, I think it'll increase. But Facebook Gab, MeWe, Parler, Rumble, all this stuff. There's a variety of platforms to share to. And pretty soon they'll all be filled out with all the videos. So even at 10% of the Republican support base is like 7 million people. Absolutely. So, guys, I know I'm not the most eloquent speaker. I'm not the most informed person out there that you know, but I'm not going to go into the rabbit holes. And if I'm going to go into a rabbit hole, it's something that I've thoroughly researched and I know a little bit about. So, yeah, there's so much things that we can be doing each and every single day. And do I care to have a massive audience? No. But the messages that we share and the things that we do matter. And I'm not going to sit there and tell you guys that what is coming will be easy. I'm not saying that what is coming will not cause some anxieties with some people. So yeah, a lot of sites you mentioned are censoring conservative messages. Yeah, guess what? There's a reason they are, and that's for me. That's why I have 100. I am all over the place. You guys, if you're on Facebook, Fakebook, whatever you want to call it, I'm gonna start posting shorter clips on Facebook. I know people are gonna get mad at me. Why would you post there? I'm gonna post it on Instagram. I'm gonna be posting everywhere because it's important to drive traffic to people so they can actually see this in a variety of different places. Because on Facebook alone, there are 7.3 billion people on Facebook, or 7.3 billion profiles on Facebook. So, guys, that's almost the whole world. So, we still need to put it out there, even if it does get me censored there. I don't care. Everywhere that I share, if I get censored, I don't care. I keep moving on. I always share more and more, and I'm going to get better at it. I'm actually in the process of hiring a social media team that is just going to be dealing with my social media because I don't have the time of the day. I don't have all the time in the world to just go and post to all these sites. So that's something that I'm working on, trying to get going. So promise not to pull your tail. Yeah. So you're absolutely right, Lori. You have to get involved politically in your own communities as well. Just bottom line, go to the city council meeting, speak up, ask questions. Guess what? If they kick you out for asking questions, then you run for their seats. And if they're not going to give you a straight answer, run for their seats. Take back the power centers. I don't think they can handle the amount of truth you're giving us. I think they'll shy away because it's not what they want to hear. You know what? That's the thing. They don't care. Just guys, everybody and their dog has been following the 17th letter post and all this stuff. Guess what? Trump, before he took office the first time, he said, you know what? I will never, ever, ever advertise to my enemies what I am doing. Well, that's weird. Where are all these drops coming from? He never once ever advertised to his enemies, well, we are going to attack you at this day, at this day, at this day. No. He stayed silent. He didn't say anything about when they were moving on child trafficking, when they were moving on human trafficking, any of that. He doesn't talk about what they're doing, period, full stop. Nobody, even the people who are creating those drops, they are misleading people because even Donald Trump himself, out of his own words, said, I will not share what we are doing with our enemy, period. So I don't, people ask, well, why don't you do this? Because you heard it from the man himself. I don't have to speak for him. He speaks for himself. So, but I know I told you guys I'm going to touch on the website real quick before we wrap it up. So, guys, we are moving to a new server. Hopefully we can get all those errors, the database connection errors and all that stuff fixed. And so today the website will be down. So if you try to go to the website, don't worry. It's not that it's down. We purposely took it down and we're working on it. So please do not be alarmed. As far as the podcast, everything, pretty soon we are going to be hosting all the podcasts internally for everybody. So, and we'll have them on iHeart, working out the final details with Apple Podcast and Android. So you've heard a lot of talk about freedom cells. Guys, I'm a part of them. I'm not opposed to them. What I tell people is if you have certain skill sets that are useful, like tax preparer, all that stuff. If you guys have your own businesses, you're able to do these things, you're able to provide value to these, whether it's through gardening or whatever skills you have, definitely join them so these things build, because there are groups of patriots who want to do the right thing, who want to actually build a community around the idea of freedom. So I will be posting that in the Signal platform. So just give me a couple after we're done here. I have to upload all of them because there was an issue and I didn't get to it last night because of this website stuff. So I'll get all that stuff posted over today. So the name of the podcast, Patriot News Network. Everything across the board, except for Twitch, is Patriot News Network. Twitch itself is the official Patriot News. Paraprofessional accountant. Once we have everything migrated over, we are going to be setting up our own Freedom Cell with different things that if with different people that are talking about different things. You have your paraprofessional accountants. You're going to have attorneys in there that are going to be able to help different things. And I mean, even advice, whether it's from a plumber or from an electrician, there are people that are coming in that have all these variety of backgrounds. We want to give them a platform where they can actually share their services or discuss their services with other people. So, yes, there is a website. So it's patriotnewsnetwork.us. So, but it will be down for today, guys. And time, I don't know if you're or if anybody, K-Riz, I don't know if you're on our Signal platform, but if you are, the podcast will be on the website as well. Yes. Can you get K-Riz the Signal group? That way they don't lose track of where we're at. Please. We like to make sure everybody's taken care of. If we can keep people. So, guys, give me just a second. K-Riz, do you have Signal? If you have Signal, get a hold of Jason or I. Give me a second. I'm actually gonna do something real quick, so bear with me. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to make sure everybody's taken care of. So, okay. So, yeah, somebody will get with you real quick, K-Riz, and send you a message. So, I am okay. Okay, so thanks, Jason, for taking care of that. And once I'm done here, I'll look people up too. So, guys, I've appreciated each and every single one of you guys. We are running out of time. We are right at the 1 hour mark. We're 5 minutes before the hour. Any questions, comments, concerns that I need to address before we wrap it for the day, or wrap it until later this evening? Okay. Better late than never. Yeah. So, just so everybody's aware, again, we are going to be down for the website. It'll be down for the day. And if for some reason it's up, I will show you guys this evening, but expect it to be down all day. Time for okay. So, yeah, guys, I know it's not the easiest ending, but you guys have a pen, you guys have a microphone, use them. The silent majority can no longer stay silent. God bless you. God bless the United States of America, and we'll see you tonight.